independent spirit. No matter the direction of the pastorate or leadership, they will not. They have made up their minds. And there are some who also isolate themselves, perhaps because of offenses or grievances. They will isolate themselves. There are some who probably somebody didn't speak well with them. They come to church, as soon as they close, pack bag and baggage and they leave. As soon as they close church, they won't socialize. Meanwhile, we are there to fellowship. We are there beyond the normal fellowship. We have to socialize. It is the socialization that we get to know that, oh, I just came to town, I need a place to stay. And then you get to know that somebody can help you or link you up to somebody. Or I'm looking for a job and somebody can link you somewhere. It is in the socialization, operating the family way, that we get certain answers, certain solutions. But if we play independent, there is no way certain opportunities will open up to us. So one of the enemies of fellowship is isolation. When you need them to make up the number, they won't be there. When you need them so that we can drive a course and move towards a particular direction, they won't be there. And unfortunately, there are some who will not be there. Particularly, we are meeting often Sunday, Wednesday, Friday. They won't be there. In the church, they won't be there. But when the church has met and traveled a certain distance and come up with certain policies or directives and they are following, these people will come out of the blue and they'll try to, make us go over the whole thing or rehash it. Ask questions. They will fall out because when they won't fit in, because the kind of mindset the members have attained, they don't have it because they didn't want to be part of the show. And that is very unfortunate. So if you want to be on the same page, you want to travel the same speed and cover the same distance, then we need to avoid that independent spirit and isolation. There may be factors though. Somebody comes to town, is staying far away. Far away. It becomes difficult. That's why we sometimes have branch churches, have home cells, so that we can cater for those who are far away from the church, and perhaps once a week they come to church. So if there are factors that are maybe unavoidable factors, when this happen, we should find a way around it. People, places where they practice cell meetings, for instance, they will call their representatives in another town. Say, oh, this sister, brother is coming there or has come there. Please take care of him or her. And it helps the situation. A situation where somebody stays out of church for a long time, sometimes 2 weeks, 1 month is not in church. Except the person so loves God, the heart is so much in the church, that maybe work shift does not allow the person to appear as often as possible. You see the person, this week he comes, the next week does not come. Alternatively, the following week he or she appears, loves God. And sometimes we tend to even judge. We look at such people and we say, oh, this person is an absentee, or this person doesn't love God, or doesn't respect leadership. This person doesn't want to be part of us. That can we draw conclusions without finding out the nature of the work and what. So these are some of the things as leaders we must take up. Visitation, engaging members. These things will help us so that we don't draw conclusion. There are some people who are not in church 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Should the rapture happen, they are going to heaven because their heart is with God. And there are others who are always in church. Perhaps if they don't come, the pastor or leadership will confront them, will ask them, why were you not in church? For that kind of fear, they will always be in church, have mercy on leadership, and come to church. There are some who will be in fellowship regularly, but they are not paying heed to the teachers. They will come because it's like going to school. They have to go. And so we should know the difference and help those who are not reforming to reform, and those who are not regular find a way to assist them. I remember some time ago in church, during the Ivorian Civil War crisis. We were in church one Sunday. Interestingly, I was fortunate to have been there, and new visitors came, and the pastor asked for the newcomers and a man and the wife and the children rose up. They stood up. And while the pastor was speaking English, they were speaking French. And fortunately, I was around, so I stepped in and I interpreted. And the pastor was, wow, you can speak French. So after that, I took it upon myself that these people could not come to church during the weekdays because the weekdays, there's a way we go about it. So they wouldn't be able to come the weekdays. So I took it upon myself. The weekdays, once a week, I'll go visit them and share God's word with them in French. So I'll meet with them. I will discuss the Bible in French once a week. And then Sunday they will come to church. And I thank God for that opportunity. He gave me grace to handle the situation. And my pastor was happy about it. So, beloved, there are ways and means we can handle people who cannot be in church all the time, whose work will not allow them. If really we are thinking the church as a family, well, Perez Chapel, we say we are a global family church. So, as a global family church, we have home service, we have visitation, and so on as part of our plans. And so every church must operate as a family because the Bible calls every denomination as a household of faith. Galatians chapter 6 verse 10, a household of faith. That is why every year each household of faith has a theme for the year. And so we need to see ourselves as a family and work as such. And that will help us iron out all the isolation and the independent spiritedness and so on and so forth. Again, one of the enemies of fellowship is lack of empathy. There are some who don't have empathy. We cannot empathize with others. There is no show of care. Well, one of the signs of the end time, in Matthew chapter 24 verse 12 says, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Somebody is not in church 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We don't care. We don't follow up. We don't visit. How often? When was the last time as a leader and as a committed member, somebody was not in church? You use a text message or WhatsApp or a call or a visit to check on the person. Many a times we will not do that. And yet we will conclude this brother, this sister is involved in a secret sin. This sister is doing that. This brother, and we don't have any basis. We don't have any basis. We're only making allegations. It doesn't show the love of God. Say we should provoke one another unto love and good works. Hebrews 10:24. And so we need to understand that the church should be empathetic. And an empathetic church is one that also thinks about the welfare of members. Sometimes somebody is hungry, somebody needs school fees, somebody needs, somebody is bereaved, somebody needs to get married. There are things the church can do, even decoration, helping with one or two things to get things done, instead of just allowing everything on the